Yeah. So my name is Tony Lyman. I'm from South Mississippi, and I come to you. I used to spend the last 2 summers at Carolina Crown on that design team and audio lead there. The year before that, I was artistic director at Pacific Crest. Sadly, in 2020, we did not get to show that show, and before that, at Madison Scouts. So I actually am here today because I cold called Jeff Osmore after seeing the 2023 show, and I was like, I really want to come to Blue Nights. Well, why would I want to come to Blue Nights? Because there's something about the energy that you guys bring to the table that I really love. And I know where you are right now. You've come here, you have $5,000 that you have to spend, and you've got 90 days that you're going to be spending doing all of this, and I know that wasn't easy to come by. I was there before, because in the 1900s, I spent time in drum corps as well, back when dinosaurs ruled the earth, in a drum corps called Star of Indiana. And I can remember sitting in the seats where you're sitting right now, and going, man, what is going to happen with the rest of my life? Well, this is the first day of the rest of your lives. And what I mean by that is all the people that you see sitting right here are going to be the people that are going to be a recurring thing throughout your life. I promise you that. These are the people that are going to have your backs. These are the people that are going to be at your weddings. They're going to, I was going to say be at your funerals, but that's kind of dark, right? That's kind of dark. We don't want to talk about funerals. So, uniquely what we wanted to do is I wanted to create a show that's about you. But there's a problem with that. I don't know who you are yet. And that's one thing that I seek to change is I'm not one of these designers that sits in an ivory tower and goes, this is my art, go make my art. We're together. We are one. The design team is one, and we are one. Because we want this show to be uniquely about you. And there's more to that in a second. So, there's a question that I had to ask. Who are you? I don't know who you are. So I asked Jed Weeks, I asked Mark Arnold, I asked people at the Quick Stop in Denver, like, who are the Blue Knights? Because the first thing that Jed asked me was, okay, what show do you have for the Blue Knights? And I looked him square in the face and I said, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know what show. And the thing, and that may seem funny, but you can make a show about anything. But I wanted to make the show, and I wanted to be a part of something that is uniquely you. So here's what people said about you, and you may not know what people say about you. They say that you are unique, that you are artistic, that you are eclectic. Some of you may need to pull out a thesaurus or a dictionary. I understand that. There's no shame in that. You are alternative. You are diverse. And I was told that people come to Blue Nights for very different reasons that people go to any other place, because we are the others. We are the people that come here to uniquely say who we are. And when Jed told me that, I was like, you have picked the right guy, because this is how I live my life. I want to be so unique. I want to have something so special that it transcends the competition. And again, we want this to be about you. And what you are going to do, you are going to be co-creators of this show. You are going to bring your unique identity to this show. You are going to help bring this show to life. Because from that, you will elevate all of us. And you'll see what this means in a minute. And from there, this will be uniquely what BK24 is. Yeah! So you're clapping right now going, yes! But I don't know what the show is. So what do I do with all of this stuff? What do we do with all of the things that people said about you, all of these descriptors? What do we do? How do we make a show out of that? Again, I don't know. But we came to it. So I started thinking about things. Being from South Mississippi, we have New Orleans culture. And one of my favorite things about walking the streets of New Orleans is that you get to see a lot of street performers. And I think from here, there's something to that, because there's this dark energy that comes from street performers, because they have to take all of their stuff and they go to a finite space and they are only confined by their creativity. People are walking by, they're going to go get they're not there to see the performer, but the street performer has to capture their attention immediately and do some of the most amazing things. And you've seen it before. How many of you have seen street performers before? You know, yeah, absolutely. And you're like, man, I was here to go buy some ice cream, but this guy's like riding a tricycle and playing a trumpet, and he's painted silver. That's amazing. But I wanted to go something a little bit more dynamic, something a little bit more edgy, more like in the style of Chris Angel and David Blaine, the dark energy that they bring to you. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So when people said that to me, like, this is who Blue Knights are, and I was like, oh, I got this. I know where we can go with this. So we want to take that, but with the same kind of dynamics that you would see in like a Cirque show, doing some really cool, wild, crazy stuff, but we still want to be uniquely Blue Knights. Right? So street performers, what does that mean? Well, again, we want this show to be about you, we want it to be about us, and we will make that BK. We want this show to be about you, about us, which will make uniquely BK 24. Oh yeah. So we are going to take it to the streets. We are going to be busters. We are going to create the most amazing things and the unique things that you've ever seen. I did a 3D rendering of the props, and we're going to take these Rhombus props and restage it's going to represent the finite spaces that a street performer would have. And we're going to have 12 of these. And you're looking at right now the inspiration behind these props. These poles actually come out, and how we play these poles, I'll tell you more about these poles. They're going to be really awesome. We're going to do choreography with them, and we're going to do some other cool things with them that I'll show you earlier. But this is the original inspiration of it right there. And with these props, we're going to reshape the field. If you notice, rhombus or rhombi, or how many math majors do we have here? I did, you have one, thank you so much. We will need your help throughout the summer, sir. Okay. I did poorly in math, but one of the things that we notice about the rhombus shape is that you can reshape the field in many different ways, and we're going to do a lot of that. And one of the things that we're going to do in the third movement is we're going to turn the entire horn line into a visual ensemble. Yeah. I'm doing some things that look like this. And this is going to serve as kind of like coins or like compensation for the buskers. And we're going to do a whole lot of cool things with this. So be ready to do some awesome stuff. That's the original inspiration of that. And then with the pole props, this is going to represent busking, or where our creativity and where our art comes from. And this is the closest thing that I can find that looks like what we would do with them. We're going to have contact triggers on these poles, and we're going to be able to play these poles and make different sounds out of them. So some of the color guards, some of the percussion, everybody's going to do things that they didn't expect to do. So if you're in the color guard, you may be playing percussion. If you're in the horn line, you may be in the visual ensemble at the points of the show. We're going to make this thing cool, fresh, and different for BK. All right. So we can't come out and look like a marching band, right? We can't do that. That's not good. We want to bring some of that same dark energy that we had as street performers, because those guys really bring it, bring the crazy, bring the weird, but we want to stay uniquely BK. So, not only do we have the costume, but we have someone here to model it for you. So we're gonna bring So as you can see, we will not look like a marching band. This is one of the coolest things I think I've ever seen. Okay, I gotta learn how to do that. I'm not gonna try it right now, but I gotta learn it because I gotta do it. So yes, we've been working on this for quite some time, and a lot of moving parts to this. You wanna unzip it one time and just Sorry, Gary. You have a few critics out there. So this is the costume for the core proper. Thank you very much, Gary. Everybody give Garrett a hand. I think they like you, Gary. I just met Garrett this morning. I like him too. So that brings us to the color guard costuming. We couldn't get enough of these done just yet, but this is the color scheme for the color guard. We'll move through we have about 5 or 6 different versions of the color guard costume.
Okay.
We're picking up some of those accents with the gold, and here's the color palette. Yeah, if you notice, we have that muted color throughout the whole core proper, so that all of these vibrant colors can really pop on the field. So this is awesome. All right, so let's talk about the show a little bit. I don't know if you want to read all of this stuff, but I'll just give you a little synopsis. So we come into the scene where all 12 of our props are going to be in one big conglomerate in the middle of the field with all of those poles sticking out, and the color guard is going to be integrated into that. And then one person is going to walk out with one of the poles that is triggered by the front ensemble, or sending signals to the front ensemble, and they're going to create a sound that sets this whole thing in motion. And from there, we're going to recreate our stage. We're going to show the audience what it means to be a unique performer. So this is the gathering, and we're using Peter Gabriel's Signal to Noise, and I actually have a rendering of the opener that I'm going to play for you right now.
You know the way that things go. When what you fight for starts to fall. So clearly on the wall.
Very cool. Yes. So what we want to do is, when we first come out, we want from note one, step one, page one of what we do for people to go, wait a minute, is this Blue Nights? This is so cool. Not that Blue Nights hasn't done anything cool before, but we're about to bring it to a whole different level. That's what we're going to do this summer. So let's look at scene 2. Scene 2 is the overture. This is the Pampiana by Alberto Ginastera. And this is where we're just going to display the skill of the drum corps. This is our unique performance at the height of our skill sets. And so we actually have drill already ready. Because what we want to do is, when we hit the ground at spring training, we want to be all about business. We want to make this thing from note one, step one, day one, be the most dynamic thing. And I feel like you're hungry for that kind of thing. I'm just I'm feeding off your energy right now. You've been waiting on this moment for your entire life. And we plan to deliver it to you. Okay? So we're going to play a little bit of the drill here.
Ooh.
Nice color guard work there, huh? I actually wrote that color guard work, so you're welcome. There you go, Tubas. Yeah. Woo! The rifle work as well. Cool. Woo! Yeah. That's a rough draft. You know, when we start these things and create it, we just want to get something on the page, and to speak to Noe Gomez's brilliance. That's what he does as a sketch. You can only imagine when he actually gets to dive in and gets to know it, it's just going to be off the chain. Thank you so much. Everybody give Noe Gomez a hand. So scene 3, this is where we're going to create, this is where we're going to go completely non-traditional. Horn lines are going to become a visual ensemble, color guards are going to become percussionists, percussionists are going to do more percussion. I don't know if we can trust percussionists for, you know, more than what we, I'm a percussionist, and everybody calm down, because I can see you turning on me for a second. All right, so this is where we we're going to create all of these moments of street performance in little vignettes where we bring those poles out that have the triggers on them, and we're just going to go to town. And we're going to create different stages, and we're going to use those, we're going to use the rings as like a form of, you know how when you walk by, you toss a coin into the hat? But we're going to do that once, we're going to do twice, and then there's going to be like 50 of them going up in the air at once, and that'll be very fun to coordinate. So this is a little taste of the inspiration. It's not this actual piece, but it was inspired by this piece by Viet Quang. This is Vital Signs, but we have taken a part of the Hinastera and recrafted a tune. And then that brings us to the outro of it, of scene 3, part 2, where we transition into the ballad. And we want to use some very special percussion instruments, and we're going to use some hung drums that kind of look like this.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
We're having these custom built by the people, especially for BK. And then our transition, after the rains start to happen, this is how we get into the ballad. Nice little slow transition. And that brings us to scene 4, which is very serene, very awesome. This ballad is very touching and moving. We're going to take all of the poles off of the props, and they're going to ripple off of the props until we have nothing but the bare stages, and then all of those poles are going to create pathways within the props. We're just going to completely get a fresh new look of the stage. And this piece of music, Michael Caine's The New Moon in the Old Moon's Arms, is, if your grandmother doesn't cry in this, we've done something wrong. I love grandmas. That's why we're doing it. I do. Because if you think about it, if it weren't for grandma, then you wouldn't have a mom, and then you wouldn't be here. So let's give it up for grandmas. I'm going off the rails with this grandma. I tend to do that. So we get to scene, after we make grandma cry, then we're going to completely warp her mind. And I'm not going to ask anybody if that's okay. It's going to be okay, all right? So all of those sounds just start, those nice pretty sounds are just going to start to warp and bend. And then we're going to take those poles, and I think there's like 72 of them. And we're all going to create a moment as an entire corps with them. And it's going to be the wildest thing you've ever seen or ever been a part of. So this is more like our Cirque du Soleil moment. And we're just going to rock it out on it. And this is Orbital by John Passato. And so what we're doing here is we're taking the energy that you individually bring to the stage, and it elevates all of us. And this is what makes us uniquely DK24. Are you guys ready to do this?
Yeah!
Awesome. And I will say this. I'm a guy that I like to make connections with people. I don't do this obviously for the money. Although I am getting paid, Mark. Are we going to do it not? Okay. I've just been informed that I may need to borrow $20 from each one of you. But seriously though, I want to say this. I want to create a relationship with the core between the design team and the wonderful educational staff and the wonderful administration, because it's going to take all of us to bring this new vibe to the field. It's going to take all of us being together, working together, sounding together to make something that's unique. And I can see that you want it. So if you're going to spend all of this money and all this time, why not do it? Why not? You with me?
Yes.
Blue Lights, thank you so much. I want to turn it back over to